Dr. Hamzat Odishoga Taiwo. I'm member of the Lucent Castle Foundation, and we felt like we need to talk about leprosy today. Why leprosy, you might ask? Well, today is the 28th of January, and today is World Leprosy Day. So we felt like it would be lovely to enlighten people about leprosy and talk about some of the myths and misconceptions about leprosy. Well, let's start with, what is leprosy? What do you know leprosy is? It is a disease as old as time. It's been called so many things. It's been described as a curse, a punishment. Well, it is just an infectious disease. When I mean infectious, meaning it is transmitted from one person to another person. It is not a curse, and it is caused by a type of bacteria called Mycobacterium leprae. Well, we're going to call it M. leprae for short. Mycobacterium is a mouthful. And just like many other diseases, leprosy is curable and can have complications if treated poorly or not treated at all, right? So how does leprosy occur? It's caused by a bacteria called Mycobacterium leprae, and it is transmitted through the air droplets. So basically, if someone breathes out these air droplets and you inhale it. But the good thing is you have to have been in prolonged contact with somebody who has leprosy, and your immunity has to be low. So basically what I'm trying to say is, leprosy can manifest when you've been in contact with somebody for a long time who has leprosy, and your immune system is low. So people generally have the tendency to fight off this bacteria from manifesting. If you do, you probably won't get it. And another thing is, it's easy to prevent leprosy from occurring. Usually doctors, after they treat patients, because treatment is very important, and leprosy is curable with treatment, which involves the use of multiple antibiotics for a long period of time. Very important, long period of time. And prevention would include contact tracing, meaning looking for people who have probably come in contact with that person for a long period of time, and giving them a specific type of antibiotic for a specific period of time, usually shorter than somebody who actually has the disease. Right. The diagnosis should be made by a doctor, because usually it's clinical. It's a clinical diagnosis. The doctor has to see you, see the lesions, and see what's going on. The disease itself affects the eyes, the skin, which is the major one everyone sees. It's the ones with the rashes and the nerve endings. That's where people tend to have the finger loss and limb loss. And it also affects mucosa, it's like the lining of your respiratory system. Well, if this disease isn't cured properly, complications can arise. The complications can include the loss of the limbs, and this is where I go into the myths, common myths. So one of the common myths we have for leprosy is that it's incurable. That's a lie. It's very curable. Like I said, you have to have antibiotics for a while or a period of time. They also think it's a curse. It's not. It's just an infection. Like I said earlier, they believe that leprosy causes the fingers and the toes to go away or cut off or what. That's not what happens. What happens is this bacteria, the M. leprae, would go to the nerve endings and make them numb. So what happens is you can't feel anything, and if you cut yourself while you have this infection in you, you won't feel it. And what happens is, because you're not feeling anything and you're not feeling pain, you won't get that place treated, and it can get infected. And infection can lead to limb loss sometimes. It is very contagious. That's another myth. Very contagious through direct contact. Sitting with somebody who has leprosy, just sitting there for 5 minutes doesn't mean you're going to get leprosy. That is not prolonged contact. You have to have had prolonged contact with the person. to have leprosy. And this is where I say that, please, if you know someone who has leprosy, the best way to help them is to send them to the doctor to get treated, right? Instead of avoiding them or casting them away or telling them to live in a bush. That won't help anyone. And please, if you find someone with this disease, show them love, show them compassion. They're not outcast. It's not a curse. It can be cured and it can be prevented. Happy World Leprosy Day, guys. Take care.